Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media. How is everybody doing as far as at home? Because we know some of the superstars are doing this morning, but we'll get there momentarily. Joining me, good old JM, Jeff Meacham, here on this always an unfortunate day when we have stuff like this going on, is our Renegade, the Grand Slam Renegades. He's calling himself there on his nameplate there. JJ Williams, Big Baller G is here. Mr. Reliable from his car, no less, Walter Cruz, and just joining us right now as we came on the air. I don't know why we gave him a solo shot. That wasn't my intention. Stupid freaking thing. There we go. Hi, Josh Mansfield's here, the melter of the multiverse, who, of course, broke the news about SmackDown being on USA Network starting next fall, and that is a monumental piece of news until about 10 minutes ago.
Well, let's be real. Until about 45 minutes.
Yeah, oh Jesus! And now Shelton Benjamin on top of it. God,
yeah,
damn
I was
it.
just about to say that.
Let's hold off on anybody new. Let's get to the ones that have been announced already.
Yes.
Gives us a chance for more names to be announced to keep us going. Let's pump the
All
brakes.
Right. So,
read the name on the tower, Mansfield.
I just put it in the chat. Was all Jessica said it.
Okay, so Meacham,
easy, big fella.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I know.
I'm
Here,
just
wait.
saying.
If we're gonna put my name on the marquee, we'll make sure I put myself dead center.
There you go.
All right, there we go. All right. So, I'm hearing massive feedback or whatever from somebody. So, if we can all choose to mute ourselves until I can pass the baton, that'd be super. So, the order they've been given so far: Mustafa Ali, Aaliyah, Emma, Riddick / Madcap / whatever the hell mood he's in today, Moss, Rick Boogs, Elias, Top Dollar, and as was given in the chat here just a few minutes ago by the Melted Multiverse, one Shelton Benjamin. JJ, you're the one that had me go ahead and come on and do this thing and gather us all together. So I'll start with you, because you pointed out to me that probably could have waited a few more days for Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, he's the only one that I feel is truly a surprise at this point.
But
only because he's got a North American Championship match at No Mercy in Bakersfield for the NXT brand coming up on September 30th.
I don't think he does it anymore.
Yeah, no, I think card subject to change is Endeavor and TKO Entertainment's best friend right now.
Yeah, shots in their foot are going.
I mean, okay, I'm just going to lay this on the table. Yes. If we had been told come September 21st at 9:00 Pacific, noon Eastern, WWE was going to be releasing talents, I think every single one of us on the panel and most of us watching at home would have named these people to be released, because most of them have done a whole lot of nothing in the past 6 months to a year.
Yes.
But that being said, that doesn't make it any less of a stinger for these people.
Of course not.
You know, like I put in the group chat when I invited everybody to join us here today. People are still losing jobs. They're losing their livelihoods. I mean, Moss and Emma are a couple. So neither one of them now has a job with WWE to keep money floating in. Both of them are unemployed. You know, it's definitely a touchy situation, and we can sit here, we can speculate as far as the reasons to all this. I mean, you know, they just brought Jade Cargill backstage to the PC. Money needs to be freed up for her contract. We had The Rock last week on SmackDown. Could Big G have to finally eat his words, and we will in fact get Rock and Roman at Mania? If so, got to free up some money to pay Rocky. Survivor Series is in 2 months in Chicago, Illinois. Could we finally get the return to WWE after almost 10 years of the straight edge savior? Money's got to be freed up for his potential contract. There's a lot of reasons here as to why these releases happen, along with the WWE hasn't really done a clean out this year under the Triple H administration, because Triple H has been trying to bring back talents that he felt were wrongly released. The only one that's been released so far that he re-signed is Top Dollar. The rest of Hit Row, as of right now, is safe. Will that be the case at the end of the day? We should see. Can somebody confirm Michael Wayne is posting that Dolph Ziggler is now gone also?
No, okay. I'm gonna jump in here and say this.
Please do.
One time at the top. Aaliyah has confirmed it herself.
Mm-hmm.
Mustafa Ali confirmed it himself.
Mm-hmm.
Tennille Dashwood has confirmed it herself. Emma. Everybody else, I'm going to just going to make sure here before I let's see. Mustafa Shelton Benjamin was confirmed by Shelton Benjamin. Everybody else has been a third party, not the actual superstar.
Okay.
So let me just say that out there, here and now, that until somebody within the company or the person themselves says they're gone, no, not confirming it. It is reported by a source that Dolph Ziggler's been released. And if I'm being honest, Nick being gone doesn't surprise me. It was a matter of when, because like he and I have talked about directly, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
Except, keeping him as a utility player, which is great. But, he's got a very possibly prolific career outside WWE to focus on now.
Yes.
Hitting the comedy trail is not exactly the most high-paying thing there is.
No.
But Nick's talented as hell at it, as is his brother, as is a lot of the people that they've have done shows with. So I'm always sad when people I enjoy watching on television and whatever leave the company or force leave the company or whatever. But in Nick's case, I'm happy as hell for him. He finally gets to have that freedom.
Right.
So if it's true, again.
Yeah. And just for Andy, who says that he missed the beginning, can you rattle off the names one more time, Meacham, of who has been officially confirmed from the horse's mouth, so to speak?
Yes.
And then who has been rumored to be released?
So I am literally keeping the no DQ ticker, for lack of a better term, here in front of me at my desk here at the office.
Yes, and everybody make sure you go to nodq.com for the most reliable source in news and rumors on the internet.
And I say that
other
because
journalists.
I say that because even No DQ is reporting that the people have been reported by, third-party journalists. But confirmed by the source themselves, Mustafa Ali, Shelton Benjamin, Emma/Tennille Dashwood, and Aaliyah.
Okay.
Those four have been confirmed by the party themselves. Reported by other parties, Dolph Ziggler, Elias, Top Dollar, Rick Boogs, and Riddick Moss.
Okay.
So we're at, where are we at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at 9 already. And I got dressed up JJ less than 45 minutes ago.
Big G has his hand up, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, so I just confirmed through X, Riddick Moss did come out with a public statement, and so did Top Dollar. Top Dollar just posted a picture of himself pretty much saying so.
All right. Well, there you go. So more than half of the releases have been confirmed by themselves. So that's at least reassuring for us that have to report this crap. Not reassuring for the people, obviously, because losing their jobs. But
yeah.
Again, you never like a day like this. You never like, having to report that people are, losing income. And if they have that dreaded 90-day momentum, just screeching halt. Not that they had momentum if they're being released at this point of their game, as far as on WWE television, but now they have to wait it out in all likelihood. But again, Jay, you made a great point. They're with the pop that man received on Friday, they're going to free up every possible penny they can to keep the electricity flowing through the WWE universe. John being back through at least whatever it is, end of October, I think he's confirmed for, whatever it is.
Correct.
Gotta. And also, again, this is not a knock on what's going on out here in Hollywood, but this SAG and Writers Guild strike is hurting people left and right. And those two names, John Cena and The Rock, don't have any work to do right now.
Nope.
And WWE is like, hey, come on back. We'll get you. We'll do the thing. Come on. And, these names that have been on this list, whether they've been confirmed by the party themselves or not, that money does add up. So, whether we like it or not, unfortunately. And, much like the people on this list, Walter's just coming out of the gym doing his thing. So he's in the car. So we can throw it to him if you want. Walter, does any of these surprise you, or is any one of these names like a bigger bummer than the rest?
Like everyone's saying, Ali's the only one that really shocked me because he was in the middle of a program. Everyone else, I kind of saw it coming. Like, I kind of think Cedric Alexander is next. Like, sorry to say, but what are they doing with him? You're going to release him too. But it hurts a little because Shelton could have been part of the new Hurt business. I thought they were going to reunite it. They teased it a few times. Then they went in a whole different direction with the Street Profits, which, like, I'm happy that they did this, but kind of sucks for people. It's a part of business. If you know business, cuts happen, especially when it's a merger. There's more on the company side. They had to release people with the same title, basically. So now you got to free money with on the talent side too to pay, like we all been saying, The Rock, Cena, all these people. Ziggler's he's been employed for so long that it's kind of weird that they released him. But like you said, it lets him free up to be a comedian, and then there's a strike going on, so he wanted to be an actor, but he could do comedy for now. He's got the talent. Everyone else, like, I saw it coming. Hit Row, Top Dollar, everyone else, Rick Moss, Emma. It sucks a little because the Elimination Chamber is going to be in Australia, and Emma's Australian, so it kind of sucks that she doesn't get to perform in her home country. Like that's a little hurtful for her. And like even her Twitter post is that it's the poster of Elimination Chamber, and then she goes, "Oh wait, I can't," or something along those lines, which it kind of sucks, but. We all know that's for Rhea, anyways. Right? That's all for Rhea. That pay-per-view is all about Rhea.
Oh god, yeah.
Rick Boobs, like all he did since he came back was a damn Snicker commercial with Bianca Belair. So like, what the hell was he doing? So like that one I get. So we got to see who else is released for me to be more surprised. The only one that's a little slightly shocking is Ali, but like. He wanted to be released 3-4 years ago, and they kept him on the books and wouldn't give him. And now that he's in a program, they released him. It's kind of like a fuck you to him a little bit, but but we'll see where he goes from there. Now we got to see who Dom faces Saturday, because maybe open challenge or something.
I mean, maybe so. I'm going to throw to Mansfield here because he's the one giving us the beat by beat here in the private chat. Is Elias's X/Twitter account verified? Because I don't see the tick next to him. You are still muted, sir. Give me a second. Sorry.
His isn't verified.
Okay,
his account is not.
Okay, and again, I'm not saying it's not him. So. But it seems like it is. And if that's the case, then yes, his Twitter handle did confirm it. So there you go. So again, JJ, God bless him. He's got the ticker going there, but confirmed. When it says confirm release, it's here at the bottom. That is confirmed by the party themselves. And again, the other releases that have been announced so far and posted on the No DQ post have been reported by other journalistic parties. So we're just waiting on confirmation from people. That's what we try to do here on Multiverse Media. So, and again,
you said Boogs is confirmed?
Or
Elias.
Okay,
Elias
I already moved
Twitter
that one to the confirmed. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Elisha had fun with it and said his brother's been released too. If I was him, I would have just had fun just to.
And once again, really quickly for the chat room, until we hear it out of WWE's mouth or the talent's mouth themselves, it is just a rumored release. We do not take the word of a third-party journalist as gospel. Not here on the Multiverse of Media. I will grab the Holy Bible right now, and I know there is no book of Meltzer, Alvarez, or Sapp in the Holy Bible. So it is not gospel. Period. When we see a WWE press release confirming some of these names that are going across the screen there in the ticker, then we'll announce that and we'll move it. In the meantime, in between time, it is just a rumor.
Right. We've lost Mr. Reliable's lost his signal. So
it happens.
They ruined the gimmick. But it's okay. Again, we never like talking about this, but Josh, any of these surprising you? Any of these particularly break your heart that they're gone?
A few do. I'll be honest. I woke up. I saw the USA SmackDown news. I fell back asleep. Woke up to the releases already being in progress,
right.
And it was like, fucking damn it. That was pretty much my reaction. Like, they announced Elimination Chamber in Australia, announced SmackDown's going to USA, and they're getting $1.4 billion extra than they were getting on Fox to releasing people again. And the ones I am a little shocked and surprised by, Mustafa Ali, Shelton Benjamin, Dolph Ziggler. Those are the ones that really sadden me. Like, part of me is just waiting for a Mia Yim tweet at this point to see how she posts it with their kayfabe hatred. But it sucks either way. And I think part of it is that we used to be used to these before AEW was a thing, because WWE used to have a big 10 to 15 mass release after WrestleMania. Like, yearly they used to have that. And then once AEW became a thing, they weren't doing that as much and were hoarding people. Then once COVID hit, then the releases started to become more of a thing again. And we sort of realize, yeah, this sucks. So I just wonder how they're going to address Mustafa Ali, especially because he was in an active program. I really think that's a case of, oh, he's still here and not even realizing he's still in a program.
I mean,
if there's anybody but Shawn Michaels running NXT, I would say that's the case, but
he was in an active program, but he hadn't really been seen on TV for the last couple of weeks to really kind of further the program. Dom had his match against Melo this week. There was, as far as I can recall, there was no Mustafa Ali even on the show.
There wasn't this week. No.
At the very least, Ali should have cost Dom the match to kind of further that storyline.
Yeah.
We knew that Dom wasn't going to defeat Carmelo, but at least having Mustafa, cost him the match would have furthered the storyline angle.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling it might now be Dom versus Wes Lee. Wes Lee got his stuff and walked out a couple weeks ago.
Right.
But I have a feeling that he might now be the one to get the rematch against Dom. And that's how they'll bring him back, is like, we came to an agreement with Wes Lee. He's going to get a title shot at Bakersfield for No Mercy. That's how they bring him back to television. Otherwise, depending on where they're going with the story, if he's a call-up or he could be a potential release, we'll see here in the next hour or so, potentially.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Wes Lee released, but
you
could always go to Impact and reform the Rascals. Two of them are already together.
I mean, there is that. And that's the thing.
Yeah, and I don't mean to step on you, but just to finish my thought out here, we need to not just think of AEW as the potential end-up place for these people.
Oh, right.
Impact Wrestling has the best women's division, so Emma, Aaliyah definitely could end up there. Like I said, if Wesley is a name that gets pulled out, the Rascals are already over there. Could be ending up over there. So we'll just have to see. We need to not assume that AEW is going to be the final resting place, if we will, for these released superstars. Because the last thing we need, as Walter pointed out, is Tony Khan scooping up and signing a shit ton more people that he won't know how the fuck to book. He's already got enough people on the roster that don't get TV time. We don't need him signing 15 more ex-WWE guys to just sit in catering.
Right, exactly.
Without even darker elevation to use them on.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I will just say real quick, and this is just my assumption. My guess and my assumption is that that today will likely just be main roster. Because in the past, they've split it days between main roster cuts and NXT cuts. I have seen it rumored there's potential PC cuts, but again, we don't know. That's just my guess that today will only be main roster.
What brand was Mustafa Ali competing on, Josh?
He was competing on NXT, but I believe
Okay.
he wasn't. He was still officially on. Was he technically one of the free agents?
I think he was a free agent that ended up going to NXT, so he would be an NXT cut.
That is correct.
So that shoots your theory right there. Sorry to be that guy, but
don't be that guy, Josh.
Sorry, y'all. My phone said it was too hot. I had to move it, and then it was there.
Nah, it's all good, dude.
Yeah, but to jump on what JJ was saying.
To the chat room, if you've got somebody that you think might be released, or if you want to bring up a point on this, you want to dictate the conversation, as we always say, super chat. It's as simple as that. Go ahead,
yeah.
Walter.
I was jumping on what you said. Tony Khan don't need to sign a bunch of people. Focus on who you got. Learn to push Wardlow and Miro and the people you got. The only one really that I can kind of see going to AEW is Ali, and that's just because Khan loves the smaller flippy guys. Like, Khan is the complete opposite of Vince. Vince loves the big, muscular, larger than life guys and knows how to push them, and doesn't like the small flippy guys and don't know what the hell to do with them. Khan is the 180 of that. He likes the smaller flippy guys and knows how to push them, and doesn't know what the hell to do with the larger than life big muscular guys who are actual believable wrestlers and superstars. So it's like the complete opposite.
Yeah, and there's again, if you believe, if Dolph Nick is confirmed or whatever, talking about, he's going to inevitably sign with AEW. It's like, why would he want to do that? Well, if there's any way to further derail Ryan's ability to get over, it's having Big Brother there. Like, no, don't do that. I don't think Nick would do that to Ryan.
Unless they put them together as a tag team. Dolph is at that point in his career where he doesn't need the spotlight.
No.
So if him being there, teaming with his brother, can help to get his brother over, especially in the wake of whatever breaks his career hit while the Punk situation was going on. Dolph Ziggler could be the battery cables to jumpstart that career. Maybe we get the Nemeth boys versus the Hardys, the Nemeths versus the Bucks, the Nemeths versus FTR, the Nemeths versus the Dark Order. Should I continue? The Nemeths versus Better Than You, baby.
Dude, seriously, I just want the Nemeths versus the Bucks to see whose leg falls off first from super kicks. I want that to be a thing. I want that to be a thing. I know you don't, but I do. Because, God damn it, all four of those guys trying to throw super kicks, they'll just knock each other's legs off.
Right.
Super kick party for real.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's what I think. I think that Dolph, Nick is probably the best candidate to sign over at AEW because of the fact that Ryan is there. Plus Ryan does the comedy shtick with Nick anyways, so they would miss the same dates for comedy shows.
Yeah.
Dynamite and Rampage are both filmed on Wednesdays, freeing Friday up. You could literally have a freaking Rick Rude situation where the Nemeth brothers are on Rampage and they're performing comedy in your city at the same time.
Dude, they should do that now and just do the Jey Uso intro now. The Nemeths are in your city. Just do it just to piss the line off. Walter.
I think Nick takes a break altogether from wrestling and just focuses on comedy and everything he wants to do. I think he just takes the tour. I don't think he signs with anybody. He has a chance to put himself out there and be Nick Nemeth, like no longer be Dolph, put his real name out there, get people familiar with that. Then if he wants to return, he can sign later. But I think he just focuses on himself right now. And he's got the money to do it. He's been in WWE for 15 plus years, so he could take a break.
Yeah, Nick is definitely in a spot where he can be okay with being off TV for a while. He'll be all right with it. Yeah. So no new names as of now. As I'm checking the ticker again. So
as am I. Mansfield did put in our private chat rumor. Take it with a huge grain of salt. One of those third-party journalists put it out there that NXT cuts could be coming at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific.
We're not going to be on the air that long, for the record.
No. We may start early for the second stream for the watch along tonight, so that we can cover anybody that may have been released. But we're not going to go continuously.
No, because that'll take us well past the ability to do that, because we have to be off the air. What was it like 11 hours, 12 hours on YouTube?
Yeah.
So. Because we got Impact 1000 and Talk Wrestling tonight across the multiverse.
Yes, and I am sure this will be a hot button topic for Talk Wrestling later on as well.
It's like, I just wanted one day to just have a chill episode. Y'all suck up there in Connecticut. Yeah, I'm tired. I miss have to go to the courthouse today in Lancaster. I don't deal with this shit too. Anyway, so let's see. Again, all the speculation, but you know what I think about. By the way, thank you everybody for watching across the multiverse. I saw that thing. I just didn't have a chance to process it in my riddle with the tired brain.
Someone is watching on the Facebook stream as well.
Oh, there you go. Well, then we appreciate you watching on the Book of Face. If you're watching on Twitter, it doesn't tell us that. So thank you for watching there too, because Twitter X data sucks. Anyway, come on, Elon Musk, get your shit together. Anyway, I was surprised that I'm echoing, but I was surprised that Mustafa wasn't on Superstar Spectacle, and now we know why.
Very possibly, yep.
Because he was the only star on the roster of that descent, and he nowhere to be found.
Interesting. I was unaware.
Yeah, and then there you go. So it looks like Big E has tweeted about Dolph, and I don't think the other superstars would tweet about it unless they knew. Yeah, especially he's got a little bit more of a head on his shoulders than that.
So do you want to officially move Dolph to the confirmed then?
Yeah, I hate it, but yeah, move Nick over. Okay. Again, I'm happy for Nick that he gets to, spread those creative wings and just fly away from the coop. But it sucks we're not going to see him on TV every week when they do if they were ever going to bring him back to a full-time program. But, as been pointed out, he's been with the company for a long damn time. You figure he was Chavo's caddy right before Eddie died, when Chavo was doing the current white thing, and that was 2005. Yeah. So he was over 18 years with the company.
And he still has the best Money in the Bank cash in. You can fight me on that.
He's definitely my favorite that didn't happen at a major paper. Because Rollins definitely said, hold my beer with this. I mean, 100% honest, because that was just monumental because of circumstances. WrestleMania, long ass run, said that then you're killed himself in the process. But Dolph's definitely got the pop, especially there in Barclays?
Izod Arena in New Jersey.
That's right. I remember Izod because they were the title sponsor for IndyCar racing for a while, so I saw Izod everywhere I went for a while.
For me, it comes down to Dolph and Miz, but that's a whole other conversation.
Well, Miz was memorable just because of our association with him, and Angry Miz will always be a thing.
Wait, which Miz? 1 or 2?
The original.
The second one was the means to an end. The second one was to get the title of Lashley. That's what that shit was.
I know what it was.
Yeah. The first one was genuine, and it was not to be punny, but it was awesome.
You're glitching a little bit, Jeff. Just an FYI.
Am I still glitching? Am I glitching now? Hello. No. Okay.
You're like your image is frozen and your audio is cutting in and out. You may want to refresh your page real quick.
Oh, I thought it was my phone. I'm like, is he glitching?
It's probably both.
But yeah. What's up, Big G?
All right, can I say my piece?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
I know it's kind of gotten hectic.
I had to run out and pick up my DoorDash order from a different building because of the stupid DoorDash. Anyways, but yeah, Dolph Ziggler doesn't really surprise me. You know, he hasn't really been doing anything late as of late, but you know, he's got his comedy, so he's got that to fall back on. Ali kind of shocked me too. I mean, I haven't watched NXT lately, but I know, you know, he's been doing the whole thing with Dom and stuff like that. And he had the match at NXT No Mercy. It's going to be interesting how they do this in the next week or so to change it up. Everybody else, I mean, was rarely on TV, but it still sucks. You know, it's their livelihood. But Matt Cardona posted something. He said, to those who were just released, this can be the end of your career or it can be the beginning. Look yourself in the mirror and decide. I promise you the work and the money is out there. It's not easy. It's a grind. It's a hustle. It's frustrating. But it can also be incredibly rewarding in more ways than one if you work your effing ass off. I hope to see a lot of you down the road.
Yeah, I hate to make this comparison, but bear with me here. But now that these guys are released and going to be doing the indie circuit, their careers are very much akin to prostitution. The best ones are going to be able to demand the top dollars. You know, you get out there, you grind, you hustle, you're going to make the most money. You know, look at a guy like Speedball Mike Bailey, who granted is an Impact Wrestling contracted superstar, but dude worked like 3 shows in the same day WrestleMania weekend out here in Southern California. You know that dude cleaned up bank that weekend.
Yeah.
Going out there just, there's an indie fed here, an indie fed here, an indie fed here. Book me. Sometimes you've got to take a little bit of a pay cut to make more in the long run. You know, you can demand, we'll say $1,000 just because it's a round number per appearance on an indie show. Maybe you've got that drawing power, great. But if you can do 2 or 3 shows in a day, do it for $700. Still walking out of the gate with $2,100 if you're doing 3 shows, which is more than your $1,000 you normally demand.
Yeah.
You know? What's up, Walter?
Yeah, I was going to say, he's right. You could take Drew McIntyre and, unfortunately, hate to say it, my guess is Ginger is going to be one too, but you take them, they were released, they made the name on the independent circuit and forced WWE to rehire them. They became bigger being released and forced them to rehire them. So it's never the end of the world for these people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at Cardona. Everyone speculated that he might come back when WWE re-signed Chelsea Green. He still isn't back yet. He is one of the top demanding independent superstars that there is.
Yep.
And he makes more doing the indie circuit, maybe not more than he would in WWE, but definitely probably more than his downside guarantee just sitting in catering on a daily basis. You know, it's insane. And he's one of the best athletes out there, highly respected. It's crazy. And some of these guys can do that too. Shelton Benjamin, Dolph Ziggler, to a certain extent, Ali. You know, Shelton Benjamin's a former Ring of Honor tag team champion with Charlie Haas. You know, I could definitely see Shelton going to Impact or to AEW, especially since AEW has Ring of Honor.
And Shelton was probably smart with his money, anyways, where he can relax. Yeah, I don't think Shelton was one of the big spenders, and he's been around for a long time, so he's got money saved up. Don't think Shelton is not one of those who hasn't made money.
Oh, of course. It's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next week and month with some of these guys and see where they go. Do they open their mouths, do the proverbial shoot interview, run WWE into the ground, burn their bridges, or do they just keep their lips sealed, let their 90 days expire, sign with whoever is willing to pony up the money for them, and try to prove WWE wrong in their release here and that they shouldn't have let him go? Most people will probably do the shoot interview and spew the verbal diarrhea running down the company, but you know, we'll see. Again, for the chat room, unless we see a WWE press release or we hear confirmation out of the superstar's mouth, it is just rumor. We do not subscribe to the third-party sites. We do not believe every report that comes out of their mouths. We have heard the rumor about potential NXT cuts at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. We will see what happens if that ends up being reliable. Probably not as reliable as Walter Cruz here, but I digress. We'll see if that ends up happening, but if you want us to discuss that stuff and the potential of those things, you need a super chat to dictate the conversation.
Yep.
Right now, we are just talking about the confirmed releases, which are Mustafa Ali, Aaliyah, Tennille Dashwood, better known as Emma, Riddick Moss, Top Dollar, Shelton Benjamin, Elias, and Dolph Ziggler. Rick Boogs currently is the only one to not be confirmed out of his own mouth on social media. Again, no press release has been released by WWE confirming that, so we will see what happens if it happens. But yeah. Why did we...
There you go.
There we go.
I mean, Aaliyah
is having connectivity issues, so forgive him for those of you that are wondering where he disappeared to. I think that's what happened with the background, is he was fiddling around with stuff, trying to get connectivity back, and it took us away from the Jeff Meacham Towers. Go ahead, Big G.
As I say, Aaliyah kind of sucks too. I mean, she was injured, you know, so she just... I mean, she was at home anyways, but like, that kind of sucks.
I mean, I've only been back in things for the better part of a year and a half, close to 2 years now. I think in that time I saw Leah on my TV screen for a course of about 3 months.
Okay, yeah.
So,
yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah. So again, and I'm not trying to downplay any of these releases because they all suck. A lot of people have lost their jobs and everything. Nobody is dead. I don't know what that's about. You're going to get a timeout here. A lot of people have lost their jobs now, but if we were to have named 5 or 10 people that we thought would be released, a lot of these names that have been released today probably wouldn't have been at the top of our list.
Oh yeah.
Top Dollar being released, I don't think surprises anybody, especially after the Flop Dollar shenanigans. The fact that the rest of Hit Row haven't been released as of yet is kind of surprising. We'll see if they get released over the course of the day or not.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they see in keeping the other two, Adonis, whatever, and BFAB. Like, I'm not sure what they see in keeping those two without Top Dollar.
Yeah.
BFAB maybe in addition to the women's division, which is kind of struggling, but without Top Dollar, I don't see what's his name? Adrian the Adonis? Ashante the Adonis. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't see him being able to do much anything without Top Dollar to anchor him in the tag division.
Yeah. That was, I mean, it was weird that they brought him back in the first place because that was like one of like Triple H's rescues.
Yeah. I think they saw the success of Swerve Strickland in AEW and were like, well, we can get the rest of the team back.
Yeah, it's nothing without Swerve.
Obviously, they've definitely noticed that over time, but I think that was the initial idea was Swerve is in AEW, he's making a big name. Hey, remember these guys? They used to run with Swerve. Let's try and make them something too.
What's her name? Adonis?
Ashante the Adonis. That's the other dude's name.
Oh, that's the dude. What's the girl?
BFAB is the girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I first heard them announced as Hit Row, I assumed BFAB was the dude and Ashante the Adonis was the chick. And then I discovered very quickly I was wrong. It was like, okay.
BFAB could probably, if they keep her, she's probably going to be the first jobber victim to Jade.
Hey, you know what? I'm not even mad at that. I'm not even mad at that. Like, Jade just needs to come in and crush. But we don't want to go into an hour-long conversation about Jade Cargill, Walter.
Jesus.
I'm just saying that's the only reason I would picture them keeping her, just to feed her to Jade. Like,
yeah, right. Have her in the first match, let Jade kill her, and then the next day, BFAB has been released by WWE.
Exactly.
It's like you got a match, you got murdered on live television, you've been released now.
Yeah.
Not the first time I've done that.
Which again is why I'm surprised they didn't hold off on Mustafa Ali. They could have let him still have the No Mercy match, lose in glorious fashion, have the Judgment Day come out and just completely decimate him post-match to allow Dom to keep the title.
Yeah.
And then the next day, Mustafa Ali has been released by WWE. Unlike Tony Khan, who brought Jade Cargill back, put her in a match with Chris Statlander, allowed her to look strong, arguably the best match of Jade's career, and now she's going to WWE with all that momentum. You kill Mustafa Ali on live TV, bury him to the general public, and then you release him.
You know how you kill him?
After that.
You know how you kill him? You have Dom beat him clean with no Judgment Day help. That alone will be
right. But then you have the Judgment Day come out and just destroy him afterwards. You leave him on TV to the general public where he has absolutely no value. Who's going to want to sign him after that? You don't have them out looking strong like an ox and shit, and then they could just walk right into another company with all that momentum.
I said that was the first thing I said. I was like, "You idiot, Tony! I said that right on your screen. Why would you let her look strong and then release her?"
But again, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
But it does hold a little bit of comparison and contrast here because they could have done the other thing with Mustafa Ali.
Who's the one at NXT storyline that he just quit? Is it
Wesley?
Wesley. Maybe he gets the title shot against Dom, and that's how they convince him not to quit. I mean, they can flip that.
I said that earlier when your phone overheated. You had disappeared for that. I was like, Wesley just walked out.
Yeah.
So the whole thing to bring him back is give him the title shot.
Yeah.
It looks like Jeff is being able to rejoin us. His connection looks like it is worked out. Yeah,
Maybe.
to Matthew's point, you turn the Ali match into a loser leaves the company match. Bam. Or the other thing is, depending on what happens with this match on Raw, you can run back Dominic and Dragon Lee.
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to have a match for the North American title on Raw on Monday.
Yep.
So you have a schmozzy finish, some kind of disqualification, some kind of count out, some kind of something, match gets thrown out, and then you run it back at No Mercy on Dragon Lee's turf. No DQ match, last man standing match, some kind of stipulation to get rid of the potential of a schmozzy finish.
Yeah.
Bam, there you go. Welcome back, Jeff. Glad you were able to rejoin us. We did remind the chat room about super chatting to dictate. We reminded them about third-party information. Did have to time someone out because they put RIP Dolph Ziggler. It was like, dude lost his job. He's not dead, so you're timed out.
Well, Nick Nemeth lost his job. Maybe the character Dolph Ziggler is dead. Either way, don't be an idiot in the chat room, especially when I'm not there because JJ don't give a fuck. He'll time you. He'll bang your ass.
Yeah.
Bye.
You lucky I didn't pull the band hammer out, Mjolnir style. Just
this is straight up the dads run the production room. That we are out of fucks to give with the chat room being a bunch of idiots. I'm just don't mess
right.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm trying to think in my head. I'm trying to guess
how we still tolerate Josh. Love you.
I know. Did everybody go around giving a guess of who they think is next?
If I had to pick somebody to be next, I'm picking the rest of Hit Row. The
fact
that Top Dollar got released, I
Row.
figured the other two are the
Cedric.
The models.
Yes. How have they not been released? The fucking Maximum Male model.
Yeah.
And Mansoor, or whatever the fuck.
Mansoor.
Yeah.
That's what they got Maxine Dupree out of that bullshit gimmick and
Dude,
was able to
Maxine
save her
is-
life with the fucking Alpha Academy.
Maxine is impressing me.
Yes,
For
she is.
real.
She is
great.
impressive.
I feel like the only reason Mansoor is still employed is pressure from Saudi Arabia. I swear, that's what I feel.
Hey, it's possible. At this point, it wouldn't surprise me. WWE goes over there often enough that would not surprise me.
They'll be there on November 4th again.
Exactly. Yeah. So November 5th, he's released.
So fucked up, but you're neither out of line nor wrong, if I'm being honest.
No. We'll be fair. November 6th. At least allow him to fly back with the company.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Fly back and then okay, go back home. Oh well.
Yeah, I just refreshed both WWE.com and their Twitter page, their X pages. Still no official word from them on their end regarding any of these releases. We're still waiting for official confirmation on Rick Boogs. The only one that as of yet we have not heard from either WWE or Boogs himself. Everybody else has been confirmed from their own mouth. Big E confirming Dolph Ziggler's release.
I went to Rick Boogs' Twitter. He hasn't tweeted in like 4 days, it says.
Yeah.
Maybe and also somebody else mentioned Dolph Trinity. So it looks like it's a thing, and again, it's I'm happy for Nick. So
I think Nick kind of wanted this.
Yeah. I think he's wanted it for a minute too, and I still think him going to AEW, teaming with his brother, is the best thing for him. They can tape a match on Wednesday, go to do a comedy show on Friday, have Rampage playing in the comedy club so that it like shows them on TV, and then the match is over. They could just walk out on stage, pull a Cody Rhodes, be like, "So, what do you want to talk about?" And everyone be like,
"Right,
you were just on the, huh."
They did the thing.
If he goes back to wrestling, I think he should go to Impact. He'll get a strong world title run. I'm telling you, they'll treat him right over in Impact.
Well, okay, but to counter that, Walter, I don't think Nick gives a shit about that.
No,
Me neither.
I really don't. I mean, just interacting with him and being able to have time with him at the kiddie shows, just because he's a fan too. It's not about if it was about championships for him, he'd have quit about 15 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
We're being real. It was about going out there and being the best on the card and being the Shawn Michaels. Follow that.
Mm-hmm.
And he did it every time.
Being the best in the world at what he does.
Yes,
he definitely is.
And if you're talking about in-ring performance in the last 10 years, you would be hard-pressed to say that Dolph Ziggler isn't top 10, maybe even top 5.
Yeah. The rivalry with Dolph Ziggler elevated Mike Mizanin to step his shit up.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That was beautiful.
By a lot. We can all in this room agree that Miz was definitely not a finished cake coming out of that oven when he joined the roster. Motherfucker's a masterpiece now.
Now that I think about it, because we're talking about Dolph, Rude is lucky he's injured because he probably would have been released too.
He's a producer.
Yeah, there is that. But if he wasn't a producer, I think he'd be having the hammer laid on him before the end of the day.
Supposedly a producer. I haven't seen his name attached to any matches, so
this is true. This is very true. And Bobby, if he is a producer, that's a good hire because Bobby's he's so good.
Yeah, but I don't think they release people when your neck is freaking messed up at the same time.
Well, no, but it I don't think it would come off as callous as that because prior to the injury, what the hell were they doing?
That's true.
Yeah, it's a big news day for them. We've got all the releases coming down. We got the PLE in Australia, which how much closer do we need to be to have them say, okay, we're bringing Mania to England, right? They keep expanding the PLE reach more and more. They're having a major show go to Australia now, not just one of the, okay, we're here anyway, so let's go ahead and do a pay-per-view. No, they're bringing one of the established quote-unquote B shows. Like they did Money in the Bank with London. It's a hop, skip, and a jump for that. And of course, there's the news investment. We're going to talk all about this tonight on Talk Wrestling, just because the focus of this is going to be the releases. But man, once again, the E just dashes my hopes of a calm, peaceful post-watch-along show.
Right?
Just talk about just bullshit for an hour, 45 minutes, whatever it is, and just kick back. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Big
damn
news
freaking
day.
drug lord looking mucker with the mustache has to get me all wound up again. Damn him.
Vincente McMahon.
Dude, that is his name on the network now forever. Vincente McMahon. Until he shaves that god awful piece of shit off his face. Vincente McMahon. Shit,
and now he's stealing my stick with using a cane.
What was that?
Now he's stealing my stick with using a cane.
Yeah.
Vincente, stick to your stick. Hashtag.
That's right, Vincente. And if we're not going to, be like the guy that does and fucking super chat us. Damn it. Vince has the money to super chat us, by God.
Vince has the money to buy us out.
With ease.
Don't put that out there.
Don't act like you would not like to be employed for the company, Meacham.
I don't want to work for him. Just fucking pay me the money. Take my money. Do what you want with my network. I'll take the fucking money.
All right. I'd rather be the guy that they gave $2 million to disappear. Give me that.
Seriously, this CFO got $5 million to say bye-bye. It's okay. Yes, sir, Mr. McMahon. I'll go home and sit home for the rest of my damn life. Hell.
But let's be honest.
They already stole After the Bell from you.
Yeah. And they've made it so much worse than it was. At least with Gravy, it was just Gravy. It was a solo show, doing interviews. Okay, I can fuck with this. Now they got that Irish bug. It's oh. Yeah, they got an Irish guy hosting After the Bell. Fuck you guys.
now that Vincente has that mustache, you better go to Cuba, Mexico, or Spain or something with a pay-per-view now. You just got to Mexico, something.
Colombia.
Yeah.
But
The fantasy
JJ,
booking
let's be honest. Do you think
drug
Vince
lords
would actually
watching that
hire
pay-per-view.
Jeff?
Anyway,
I
what?
mean, if there's anybody that could actually save the women's division, it's probably this man or Noah Foster. Just saying.
Seriously. I'll book it. Noah can call it.
Okay. Here's the thing, though. They watch our shows as it is. Do you really think they want any of us on their payroll for the shit we say?
Of course
No,
not.
No. They want us on the payroll to keep us quiet.
Yeah.
Hush money. Buy the shirt. ProSTs.com.
Well, we know Vince is known for the hush money.
Hey, I have a shirt out of that. Wait, let's see if I can get the.
Not wrong.
Oh, very wrong. Just not incorrect.
Yeah, true.
WWE proudly presents Brick by Brick live from Colombia.
Brick.
Fucking hell. Damn it, JJ.
We gonna get raided by New York and Connecticut. Anyway.
That would mean they'd have to come out to Santa Clarita and Victorville on purpose.
I mean, there's nothing to do in Santa Clarita but Six Flags anyway. I might as well just come out here and have some fun just fucking with us.
I mean, they'll be 2 hours away in Bakersfield, so I mean,
Yeah, on a Saturday where I'm already double booked. Idiots.
Cocaine on a case pole match.
I was going to say powder on a pole. That way you're being nondescript about it, Walter. You're not being super obvious.
Well, just bring Kane back and just keep saying Kane instead of cocaine.
I feel like Vince Russo's got to write the match, though. He's got to book that one, a powder on a pole match.
Yeah.
Oh God, no. Can we not?
But I digress. Buy the T-shirt. We all know.
Please digress. Good grief almighty. Oh my goodness. Oh, too much. But yeah, I
really quickly, not to step on you, Jeff, but as we are coming up to the top of the hour, just to reiterate, those of you that are joining us, first of all, thank you to the 20 plus of you that are watching this right now. We greatly appreciate it. This is a breaking news brief from the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media discussing the confirmed releases of Mustafa Ali, Aaliyah, Tennille Dashwood, better known as Emma, Riddick Moss, Top Dollar, Shelton Benjamin, Elias, Dolph Ziggler, and the rumored release of Rick Boogs. We have not gotten confirmation from WWE or from Boogs himself on his release. The other names that were listed have been reported on their own social medias. Big E Langston having confirmed the release of Dolph Ziggler. There is a rumor via a third-party journalist that NXT cuts could be coming at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. We will have to wait and see if that legitimately happens or if it's one of these third-party journalists blowing smoke out their asses for clicks. Yes. We'll have to wait and see. But if you want to discuss the potential of NXT releases, if you want to dictate the conversation, if you want your comments brought up on the screen about the releases that have been announced, Super Chat, it's as simple as that. Jeff? There it is. The Hush Money in the Bank shirt. That dropped that's on the Pro Wrestling Tees, right?
Correct, sir. Yes.
Shortly after the news of the scandal with Vince broke last year.
Yes. By the way,
that shirt.
By the way, I bought a fresh Meachamania shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees. At the same time, I bought my belt for my Star Wars cosplay. At the same time, I finally bought a Roman Reigns t-shirt. And the Meachamania shirt's not here yet.
Of course not.
Come on, Pro Wrestling Tees. Get your shit together. Anyway.
And to the comment in the chat room, tonight isn't SmackDown. That's tomorrow. Tonight is Impact 1000 live across the multiverse of media.
Graphics there, throw it up. Graphics there, throw it up.
I'm in the comments section.
I know. I'm saying
go back over. There it is.
There it is.
UFC took the time to break some news too.
Hey, you know what? It could. It's very true.
Yeah, Colby Covington actually finally has a damn fight.
Yes, you're wrong for that. But yeah, we have Impact 1000 Night 2 with what is being billed as the biggest knockouts match in history. It's just because there's 10 of them. It's not like it's a big title matches.
Well, you got to figure some of the names that are in there. I mean, you've got people back. You've got Gail coming awesome calm back. Mickey James is back from injury.
Hell yeah, dude.
The rest of them are just kind of meh. You're there on a weekly basis. But some of those other names I just listed, it's like, man, that's a big deal.
I am glad that Velvet and Anthony are back, so I can stop being freaking pressed to have Greg and Maddie and I do that entrance.
Oh, you're going to get pressed for it.
To be fair, I only pressed Maddie for that.
Yes, you're still wrong for it no matter what.
Mansfield was simping for Maddie.
But hey, we got to see the Pigeons let loose last Thursday. I was here for it.
And we'll get it again tonight.
Well, she's not wrestling. She's still got the neck thing, but she may walk out there. I mean, she's going to be out there with Angelina. I don't know if they're going to do the whole thing. Hopefully they do.
They did it last week. I'm sure they'll do it again this week.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Did you guys see Angle's tweet about Shelton?
Yes.
No, I did not.
He just said Team Angle forever and put a nice picture of him and Haas and them together.
Awesome.
That was WrestleMania 19 era seems to be the thing this week.
Yes, right?
Yes.
Man,
holy
Sammy
shit.
with the WrestleMania 19 thing with Jericho. Ooh, man. I finally went back and watched that after I got home last night or this morning.
That was so awesome.
Oh, so good. And people are cracking on Tony for parodying that, for the Bret Hart parody. It's like, you know what? Yes, we all get the joke. It's funny. It's funny to us because we grew up watching that shit. We grew up that kid go get him, champ. And it's just having Max do that was like, you were dumb. It's just so funny.
People forget the entertainment part of wrestling. People keep forgetting that.
Yeah,
exactly.
I popped big time for that Bret throwback, and if my woman hadn't already been asleep, I probably would have got as loud as when we first heard Final Countdown for Forbidden Door.
I know.
I would have popped that hard for that. Yes, Josh, we see your hand up patiently waiting.
So, this is completely shocking. I did not expect this. John Cena has tweeted concerning the releases, specifically on one person. He tweeted 1,554 matches at heel Ziggler, #respect. I've never seen Cena comment on that stuff before, and that shows the amount of respect that Ziggler has among the big brass. And the fact that he is getting a singled out tweet from the GOAT himself, hot damn.
Still hard for me to consider Cena the GOAT, but I definitely will concede that he's one of the greatest of the modern era.
Pardon me while I puff my chest out at my friends, tweeting about my friends here. Don't mind me. That was awesome. I love that. I love that John did that. I really do.
All respect to John, but absolutely. I never call him the GOAT. He's one of the GOATs. My GOAT is always the Undertaker. Nobody's gonna ever change my mind.
Oh, same.
The GOAT discussion is, as we say on, I guess live now on Tuesday mornings. Jack.
Yeah.
But Cena, no, not yeah. Hush. Freaking Mansfield, whatever the hell. John's definitely in the discussion, as is Undertaker. I've been fortunate to meet and interact with both, and I can't deny either one of those guys being in that discussion. I think it's unfair to say Mount Rushmore for wrestling because you can't have four.
You can't.
There's way more than four.
And it all depends on your age too and what era you grew up in.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah.
That's why
Watching
I said
on
for the modern era, yeah, you can definitely argue that his name deserves to be in that conversation. But if you're just talking all time, as Goat suggests, the greatest of all time, that's still up for debate as far as I'm concerned.
I would say the only one that's in the discussion more than any of them, because he transcended all the eras, is The Undertaker.
Yeah.
He's in that discussion more than I think than any of the people that get that, label. Flair, yes, was around too, but Flair's stuff didn't stay great the entire 50 years.
Yeah. It's funny because
Undertaker-
wrestling's the hardest one to make a GOAT. Like all the other sports, you kind of get a consensus of who it is. Wrestling, it's too many arguments. Like if you go to basketball, the only argument is Jordan and LeBron. Like it's pretty much that's it. You go to golf, it's Tiger Woods. You go to yeah.
Well, look, you got Arnold Palmer, you got Jack Nicklaus, you got all these guys now that are been around a while. Again, subjectivity and GOAT status go. It is what it is.
But golf maybe doesn't go past 5. Wrestling goes to it really depends on when you.
It's JJ had a great way to phrase it. The greatest of the era of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Bruno. Backlund, but I think that era is better represented of wrestling, period, by Harley, Jack Briscoe, those guys on that side of the war, wink, wink. Hogan and Flair neck and neck, although Hogan with the mainstream more than Flair. Austin, Rock, Triple H, the entire main event Attitude Era roster, right? Ruthless, Cena, Orton, Lesnar, those guys, and again, nobody's still touched Roman Reigns even now, 3 years in. So there's definitely we'll call it like a Great Wall of China extended Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
because there's a ton of all-time greats.
Yeah,
but these guys today, unfortunately, and gals, are great. A lot of them, especially people like Shelton Benjamin, Nick Nemeth. But they unfortunately didn't get to that where they get put on the Mount Rushmore, the Mount Olympus, or whatever. They do get put in that. Try to outwork them and fail like a muckerfuther.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're not going to outwork Shelton Benjamin or Nick Nemeth or even Mustafa Ali. I will always say Mustafa Ali's biggest problem is his inability to keep his fingers off the button and his mouth shut.
Yep. And
great talent, great in the ring, just didn't know when to not say when.
Yep.
I like it, but I just, it is one thing to need to stand up for yourself. I don't disagree with that. Lord knows I've been far too much of a pushover in my life, but there's a fine line, and it's a very fine line. So yes, we're hearing feedback because Walter is not on mute when I'm talking, which is it's fine. Like I wouldn't even worry about it at this point. JJ, you made the right call of being timed out for sure by noon, because that apparently Aaron is going live at noon, so it'll be just perfect if we get that far.
I was actually going to private message you. Do you want to send him an invite to join us? At the very least, he can publicize his presentation coming up.
I mean,
or do you want to just leave it as us? It's fine either way. I don't care. I just thought
with all love to Aaron, he doesn't need the publicity.
This
like
is
we do.
Fair.
I love Aaron, but he will get people watching his show.
This is fair. I mean, we've been doing pretty good numbers wise. I've seen us get over 30.
Yeah.
That's really good for us.
I love it.
I wish we'd start getting some super chats, because I know he's going to be getting a shit ton of them when he goes
from the people in the room.
Yeah, from the people that are watching us right now that are sitting on their wallets, but that's another story.
Yeah,
All right, guys, I'm gonna go. I gotta pick up my son. So thanks for having me. It was fun popping in here.
No worries, Walter. Thank you for joining us. G, I see you saying in the chat that you're gonna head out and eat lunch. Same with Josh. So that's cool. It's just going to be me and you now for a little bit, Jeff. Thank you all for joining us and hanging out and discussing everything.
Goodbye.
And we will probably see you guys for open mic night on Saturday.
See you guys.
Hopefully.
Love you.
Yep.
Yes.
Later.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then there were
the
two.
dads running the tower as we do.
Hey, you know what? It's cool though. I mean, we were able to get some of the extended multiverse in here to discuss this.
Yep.
Aaron said he's going to be sharing his link in the chat room, so I would not be surprised to see any of those guys pop up on his stream as well.
Fine. Yeah.
Again, you know, nodq.com. Aaron Rift is going to be going live at noon
our time
Pacific, so 3:00 Eastern. If you guys want to check out what he has to say as well, but in the meantime, in between time, we're still here to discuss the releases of these guys.
Yep.
The only one that I see as a surefire Hall of Famer is Dolph Ziggler.
See, I think Shelton's there.
Really? I could see Shelton getting in there if they inducted Team Angle, the Hurt Business, the world's greatest tag team. I don't know if I definitely see Shelton as a solo Hall of Famer, because every time you thought he was on the cusp of the greatness, they pulled the rug out from underneath him. Every time you thought that he was going to deliver that last punch to break through that glass ceiling, they reinforced it with some steel beams.
Right.
He got close.
No, he did.
And again, you can throw the whole, well, Coco Beware's in there, Hillbilly Jim's in there, Hacksaw Jim Duggan's in there.
Hillbilly Jim's speech is still going. I love Jim, but it is.
But at the same time, I don't know if he gets it on his own. Sound off in the chat room. Let us know what you think.
Yeah. I mean, the arguments you put out there, you know, people like Coco Beware, who did not hold a championship at WWE, but, you know, was a popular figure during the time that wrestling was hottest. You know, I think Shelton's there. It won't be like, he won't be the headliner.
No,
nor will Mick, if I'm being honest. But, you know, both of those guys I think deserve.
Okay. That's fair.
And I think that, and again, they won't be in the Hall of Fame next year. Right. No. But, you know,
and you know what? Since you mentioned that, I'm going to go ahead and say it right here. Nor should Wyndham Rotundo Bray Wyatt.
No, I agree with that.
Everybody out there that's saying that Bray needs to go in the Hall of Fame next year, no.
Yeah, it's not a
circumstances. I understand.
Right.
But I'm sorry. The fact that you died during a calendar year does not guarantee you Hall of Fame induction the following year. Otherwise, Shad Gaspard would have got the Warrior Award when Titus O'Neil did. Period.
Walter with the bluntness. You gotta love it.
Right?
Listen to this man, I tell you, people. People stop being cheap super chat, especially if you're getting mad that we don't talk about what you want us to. Just dictate by donating. I'll just leave that there for a while.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Walter, for the super chat that went to your channel, by the way. So,
hey, that's okay. That's one step closer to another payday, which, by the way, came through during the stream today.
Oh, good. So mine should have dropped too.
Should have been there, yes, sir.
I saw the email that it had been initiated, but I hadn't seen the money actually appear yet.
Yes.
That'll make Teresa happy.
Right.
Well, because I told her I may need her to pick the kids up, because if the money hadn't processed yet, I'd have no money to buy gas to get there.
Right.
Yes. Okay, good. So I can get gas before I go to get the kids.
Woo-hoo.
Awesome.
There you go. Oh, speaking of money, and I had told you this privately, but we'll go ahead and throw it out there to the universe since they're watching. Yes. The plan for this money was to fund the networkings of the Halloween convention next weekend.
Yes.
They finally, at the convention, released meet and greet autograph photographs yesterday.
Of course they did.
It's fine. I would have never been able to do it based on what they set for the figure. They did do what I thought, though. They've got a photo op with the Michaels.
Nice.
$555.
Well, I mean,
you figure it's a lot of friggin' people. So,
yes.
And if you break it down based on just person by person, it's a bargain.
Yes.
It really is. But I saw that number. I went, okay, so this week's check in next week's. Got it.
Yes. Excuse me for 1 second, Meech. I
Yes.
need to go utilize the facilities real quick.
No, you're good, man.
Right
You're good.
back.
You're good. Oh, so yeah, again, if you're just tuning in, welcome to this coverage of the releases. You see there at the bottom, the releases that have been confirmed are confirmed by the parties themselves. Rick Boogs has been announced by a third party, but not actually confirmed by either Boogs or by the company itself. So that's why you only see his name in the rumor and innuendo section. But I'm gonna leave it silly up there actually. Again, I am not a fan of this day ever when it comes during the course of a year, regardless of when it comes in a year, because guys and gals are losing jobs. 100 people in the office lost their job this week, which sucks. But again, this is the fallout when a merger takes place. And I know a lot of us in the world have not been in a position of employment on a corporate level like TKO Group Holdings is now, like WWE has been, like UFC has been, and Endeavor has been. This is just what happens. WWE cuts have been more prevalent in the recent years because of they do their quote unquote spring cleaning post WrestleMania, but they've been making so much damn money hand over fist in the last year they didn't, I guess, feel the need to cut people. Well, here they are. These are the redundancies on the roster that are not going to see the light of day for a storyline after a certain point. And again, starting down there at the bottom, confirmed Mustafa Ali, who had a NXT North American Championship match scheduled for a week from Saturday here in California, Bakersfield. Aaliyah, Emma, Riddick Moss, Top Dollar, Shelton Benjamin, Elias, Dolph Ziggler. And again, Dolph has not been confirmed by Nick himself, Dolph Ziggler. It's been talked about by John Cena, by Trinity, and by Big E. So that's where we're going with that. I don't think any of those three people, especially John, would have put something out there in the X-verse without confirmation it was a thing. So that's why you see the names you see there as confirmed. Everybody else has said it themselves on some sort of post. But if anybody is going to be believed as a quote unquote third party source, it's John Cena, because he doesn't do shit like that unless he knows. So, yeah, it's being mentioned in the chat room. It's a heavy news day. It started out hot and heavy this morning with the SmackDown thing, with Chamber being announced for February and where it's going to be. But we are going to talk about all that later. Of course, we're doing our coverage of, or there it is, Impact 1000 coming up tonight. Are we going? Okay, and then we're going to have Talk Wrestling after Impact 1000 tonight. So, and Talk Wrestling will be across the multiverse, including no DQ, because that's the allowance I've been given by the boss man. Again, who is going live, by the way, for those of you watching, he'll be live at the top of the 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific hour with his thoughts on what's going down in New York and Connecticut today. So,
and depending on what happens as far as the NXT releases, we may end up going live here again around 2 Pacific, maybe 3 Pacific, prior to Impact 1000, just so that we can kind of keep up to date with that news as it breaks and not take away from Impact 1000 with all that stuff, because I'm sure chat room's going to be blowing up, people trying to talk about it while the coverage is being done for Impact 1000. So
yeah, and by the way, while we're talking about
that, we don't want to take away from the awesomeness that is Impact Wrestling achieving 1,000 episodes with people blowing the chat up about this.
No.
So get it out of the way or save it for Talk Wrestling.
Either way, super chat, for the love of God. Yeah.
Yeah, please. And I do apologize if we come off as dicks with that, but I speak for Meacham. We sit here, we watch y'all watch Aaron Rift's stuff, and again, this is no hatred towards Rift.
No,
we see some of our frequent chatters in the comments super chat him and not super chat us, and it's just kind of disconcerting to us because here we are providing this information to you, breaking news as it's happening, and we're not getting the love from y'all. And he'll go live in an hour and a half and make a couple $100 off of super chats from y'all.
And we understand it's coming off, bitter critter, whatever. But to that point, Aaron does recaps 3 to 4 nights a week, and there's $2 super chats coming in during those recaps with stupid shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to be blunt about it, but it's just like, if you want your stuff out there, just super chat it. It's seriously, if people have enough or they can super chat $2, 10 times during the course of an hour, that's still $20 that is sitting in your pocket, just drilling a hole. The hole, the path of those drilled holes go in multiple directions. So anyway, yeah, I do want to commend you, by the way, and Noah for last night. I got to watch it back.
Thank you.
And great work on the graphics, by the way. I completely dropped the ball on graphics this week as far as the match cards. That's 100% my bad.
No worries. I've got the ones ready for tonight. I will send them to you in the chat.
Cool.
And I'm just waiting for TK to release the rest of the graphics for Rampage Grand Slam because some stuff did get added last night.
Yes,
I
definitely.
do have 4 graphics. There's 3 trios matches confirmed right now, as the AEW trios titles, the Ring of Honor trios titles are both going to be defended, and there's a mixed trios match. There's a 4-way to determine the number 1 contenders to Better Than You, Baby. Couple other things, I forget what, but
cool.
There's like 5 or 6 matches that have been announced for Rampage, and I only have graphics for 4.
Well, definitely send it to me, but hang on to them in case I do have to leave the house today and tomorrow. Because
no worries.
For sure. For sure.
I'm logged into the administrative side of your account right now. I'm not going to log out because of the breaking news that is going on.
Yes, thank you.
So if needed to be here to produce, I'm already set up for all that. So.
Sorry, wrong number. Go ahead.
Yeah,
it's crazy how old that show is and how far those 2 boys in particular have come, right? Especially Keenan. But yeah. I do want to again thank not only you, but the entirety of the multiverse for the allowance of tomorrow. It's very rare that I get to have quality time with friends who I've met and only interacted with on the very rare occasion that I have the people I'm signing into work tomorrow. So it's nice to be able to see Britt and Tyler and meet their little one, and do all. I mean, I wasn't kidding when I work yesterday when I said literally all the buttons.
Nice. Really quickly.
Yes.
Walter just sent another super chat to me this side. Don't worry. You get one too. I stick to my shtick across the multiverse.
That's right, man. By God.
Speaking of that, coming soon, I have been reworking the lyrics to the Beatles across the universe to be across the multiverse.
Oh, dear God.
And I will be recording that with my horrid singing, or maybe we'll get Mikey or James to do the actual lyrics to the song since they have better voices.
You should get Noah to do
the multiverse coming soon.
You get Noah to do the Ringo voice just because.
Right? Like here, I'm gonna give you a little taste of the lyrics here because there's still a work in progress, but maybe this will get people to actually send a couple of super chats.
There you go.
All right, I'm bringing up my lyrics here. Give me a second.
That's right. There you go. Jeez.
Hey, like I said, I've been working diligently on this. I literally cut and pasted the lyrics, and then I tried to rework them so that it still flowed with the melody. So check this out. We've got Noah's voice is getting strained as he provides the play-by-play with JJ as his color man across the multiverse. Watch alongs or talk wrestling on YouTube. They are broadcasting on Saturdays. Renegades moderating. Noah James Dattila. We are from the multiverse. We are from the multiverse. Like I said, work in progress, but that's what I got so far.
Y'all super chat for that now. That's good shit.
It's good shit, pal.
Good shit, pal.
Not
But
like
yeah,
these releases that we're here to actually talk about. But
no,
yeah.
but again, it's because of people like you at home. And
yes, the 15 of you that are still watching that just got that sneak peek, and one left, so I must have scared them away with my singing.
Right? But it's because of the people watching and my team that I have in place that I get to have these three people with Disney Smiles.
Mm-hmm.
Just makes my day. It really does. And I'm very happy about that. So thank you all again for allowing me to allowing you guys sharing me on a work day, because I know that tomorrow's going to be a big day as far as coverage of shows and content, and I'm not going to be here. So I appreciate the ability to go do that and to go play at work and have fun. So I truly, sincerely thank you in particular, but the entire team for sure. So
I got your back, bro.
I know.
I've had your back this way for the better part of a decade.
Yes.
In life for damn near 20 years, as scary as that is to think about. But
it is, man. That's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, I enjoy this, and like I said to Noah, and you watched our callback, so you heard me say it, but I feel like I've gotten a lot more comfortable to where I can do the AEW product as opposed to where I was a year plus ago when I first started doing commentary.
Yeah, definitely.
Back then, if I was doing AEW, it'd be like, oh, look, there's Scorpio Sky. I know that guy. He did the thing. Cool.
He did it. Yeah.
Now you watch the commentary back. I can get in there. I'm calling some spots.
Yep.
Telling stories like I'm supposed to. Still not taking away from Noah doing the play-by-play, but if I'm talking and I'm hyping something up and blah blah whoop-de whoop and oh, what a neck breaker by, just so it can transition back into him taking over the reins.
Yes.
I enjoy doing this. I don't know if I'll ever be comfortable enough to do Impact.
Right. Well, but luckily, freaking Natilda fell in our damn laps at AEW. So it's like, yes, all right, we have a commentator for that. So it's
I mean, if she shows up late, if I need to do the pre-show, if she has to step away mid-match, I can usually get the hot tag and come in there for a couple of minutes. But to try to carry the whole show, it would just be bad if I was in that seat.
It's one of those, you know this better than anybody, I have a hard time with delegation, and I have a hard time admitting when I can't do something, especially in wrestling.
I know.
But commentary, I got paid to do it. I still sucked.
I know.
So it's one of those, I'm grateful to have people to do it.
Some of us are so hands-on that we just cannot trust somebody else to take the reins.
Right.
Me and you are both like that. I have a hard time letting go too. It's a little bit easier for me than it has been for you.
Yeah.
But it's still really hard for me because at the end of the day, it's the NWA TNA Jeff Jarrett is NWA champion mentality. I know I can rely on me.
Right. Exactly.
If I start to put too much faith in everybody else, what if they slack off on me?
Right.
I know I can rely on me.
Yes.
I may put things off until the last minute, but I can still rely on me to get it done.
Well, we're all guilty of that.
Yes,
So.
yesterday I had to sit in this chair and film yesterday's review, which is why it was late getting edited.
Yep.
It still got broadcast on time, but
Yes.
that's why I was editing it, uploading it while you were like, "Can I get the link for your review? I'm waiting to put out a post."
Yeah.
Coming.
Yeah. On it. Yeah.
But so yeah, I totally get it. And I appreciate the fact that you've put that trust in me. Call me Ka. Maybe I'll sing that on the 18th. I appreciate that you've put that trust in me. I appreciate that you've put that trust in Noah, that trust into James. To a certain extent, the trust to Stat Boy and Dory Lou and Datilla.
Yep. Again, it's
a year and a half ago.
No way.
Would Vince McMahon had to pry the control out of your cold, dead hands.
Yep. Straight up cyborg and no sleeping. Absolutely.
But what really got you to the point where you could do it was the job at Disney.
Yep.
At that point, you had to. Otherwise, this doesn't happen.
No.
You don't buy the building. You don't get your name on the towers.
That's right. It's so still silly, but I love it. I don't even care. It's great shit.
Good shit, pal.
Good shit, pal.
You should be in Vince's office right now. As we are outside the tower, you should have your T-Rex on the wall behind you.
If the fucking internet connection would be more reliable and not such a faulty piece of shit, I would totally do it. But
we're getting way off track here.
Well, no, we are because they haven't announced anybody new, which is good. But it's kind of bad for the.
And again, really, really quickly, if any of you guys have other names that you think might be released that you would like us to discuss, or if you have a thought you'd like to express about the names that have been released that are scrolling at the bottom of the ticker, super chat. It's as simple as that. Be like Walter, who has donated $10 now, 5 to Meech's channel, 5 to my channel. We're not expecting you to share the love on both channels and super chat both of us to get your point across. But if you've got a thought that you'd like to get out there and have us discuss, show your love with a super chat. Go ahead, Jeff. Bless you.
Sorry. I was trying to get the mute button and try to hold this knee, and just nothing worked at the same time. But no, it's for the longest time I was very much what Obi-Wan accused Anakin of being at the end of Revenge of the Sith. It's dealing absolutes, man. Just me. Rule of 2 at best, which is why you and I work so well. But being able to go, do this job, and I'm showing this off because we're having such a lull. But I was a Star Trek person. You and I both know this. I never envisioned myself going to a freaking workshop in the middle of an outpost themed on Star Wars and building one of these myself. But here it is. It's just stuff like that. It's just people, it's part of me goes, this is so ridiculous that I went and did this and spent this much money. Part of me goes, I got to go do this and spend this much money. That was awesome. So it's definitely a mixed bag of emotions. But it's cool that I am able to rely on people, and I'm hopeful that the wrestling community is able to show these people that are on this ticker going across our screen here that they have a place to land if they choose to stay in wrestling.
Yes.
Again, we've kind of been saying it for the last hour or so. It didn't look like, unless he ends up in AEW with Ryan, I don't foresee Nick, caring all that much about going on with wrestling. At
the end of the day, he has done what most people dream of doing.
Yep.
He's had damn near a 20-year career in WWE.
Yep.
He's been world champion, intercontinental champion, tag champion, U.S. champion.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Successful Money in the Bank cash-in.
Yeah. Hell of a Rumble performer when he's in it.
Mm-hmm. He's NXT champion.
Yes.
Having taken the title for about a month from Braun Breaker, breaking up his reigns.
Gave Big E the rub when he first came up from NXT. really got AJ Lee's character to that next level. And had she not been disenchanted with the business after what went down with her husband, she could still be doing her thing. And let me, sorry, April, getting injured as well was not exactly a
No.
small factor in her leaving the company either. Dolph has that, like, oh, that's right, he was part of that.
Mm-hmm.
As well as all the championships, all the things he's done himself. A lot of Dolph's contributions is, oh, that's right, he was part of.
I think it's safe to say, and maybe this is a bold comparison, but you take a little bit of early 90s Shawn Michaels Heartbreak Kid, take a little bit of Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, you put him in a blender, and you got Dolph Ziggler. Complete
with that crazy-ass Kurt Hennig hair. Both before the match where it's all stylish and looking good, and then halfway through it's fucking... Because he's been just working his ass off as he do. The hair just
fight forever.
Yeah. But yeah,
and
Nick's
again,
hair definitely gets that freaking Hennig poof about halfway through, but just because he's just working his ass off.
And again, to the people in the chat room, unless it is coming from a WWE release or the superstar itself, it is third-party news
at best.
At best.
And I'm not discounting anybody's information. But with all due respect to, I'll address it without addressing it. The person reporting that works for AW.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that. Just throwing it out there. So again, I want to see the person being reported tweet it, or I want a WWE thing.
Or a super chat if you expect us to discuss it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I had no problem discussing it, but if it's not confirmed by the talent, then I want to see the I want to be able to have a reason to comment on it.
No disrespect to the person putting it in the chat.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
not at all. But I'm running the business here, for being honest. Just trying to see. I
just checked that person's Twitter, and they haven't posted anything for a few days. So
yeah, another
what it is.
Another tweet going out there. I forgot Maria was paired with Ziggler. I forgot that was a thing. Again, you forget about it.
Yeah,
because he's done their song and done so much.
For real.
And they do look good side by side. It's like, who's got the better abs? Jesus. Especially back then. Just one of those days. It's just gonna be one of those. Here you go. Here's a great spinning off of what Cardona said earlier. From Mike Bennett. Today can be the worst day of your life, or it can be the day everything changed. Yep. Today can be the finish line, or it can be the starting line. It's all up to you. Remember that phone call, but don't let it define you. Your talent and your value is not determined by one person or one company. Put your head down. Ignore everything you hear and just get back to work. Immediately getting to work on the next thing in your life is a great way to deal with the emotional roller coaster you are inevitably going to feel. You can't control what just happened, but you absolutely can control how you respond to it. It's day one, but you're not starting over. You have new knowledge and experience and equity. Big key word there, equity, that you've built over the years. It's day one of the next phase of your life. That's the thing you hear a lot when people restart their lives or, reboot their thing. It's, today's the first day of the rest of my life.
Yes.
Very much the case for the people here on this ticker at the bottom of your screen. This is their chance now to, they're being forced to, granted, hit that reset button. But they don't have to be defined by having to do it. As a matter of fact, you have to, and again, I hate to use the phrasing by the now NWA World Champion. You have to control your own narrative.
Yeah.
Do not let the media. And by the way, I will put Matt's comment up here because that's how sad it has gotten. Somebody created a fake account for one of these third-party people. Like, dude, grow up. Golly. It's bad enough that, with all due respect, the real one is, out there putting the news out there. It's like y'all need to find better things to do with your lives and your time.
Yes, absolutely. And back to your point about what Mike Bennett posted.
Oh man.
I brought this up when you were having your technical issues, so I don't know how much of it you heard. So I'll go ahead and I'll repeat it now that you're here. And forgive the comparison here.
Okay.
As it may sound a little bit off, but let me explain where I'm coming with this.
All right.
The releases today and the superstars in the very near future that are being released today very much are now going to need to prostitute themselves to make money. In
Yes.
that I mean the one that hustles the most is going to make the most money. The one that grinds the most, the one that performs the best is going to be able to demand a higher rate on the indie circuit.
Yeah.
You need to know your value, know your worth, but at the same time, you need to know when is a good opportunity to take less than your worth in order to make more in the long run. You know, you look at a guy like Speedball Mike Bailey, who granted Impact Wrestling contracted, but worked 3 shows in a day on WrestleMania weekend.
Yep.
Your standard going rate may be $1,000 per show, and you may be able to demand that and get that. But if you've got an opportunity like Bailey had to do 2 or 3 shows in a day, drop your rate to $700. You're still walking out with $2,100 for all 3 shows. That's more than your one thing, but you've also networked to 3 different companies, got your brand out there to 3 different companies, sold merch, which is all your money for the most part, in 3 different companies. That makes up the $300 you lost per show.
Without having to fly.
You'll make more in the long run.
Yeah, exactly. That is where stuff like WrestleMania weekend comes in handy because everybody books around that show.
And the reason I said it the way I did is because I know hearing the term prostitution automatically gives that negative connotation.
Yes, true.
Someone whoring themselves on Hollywood Boulevard, but that's essentially what these people are going to be trying to do now on the indie scene is whore themselves out so that they can get good bookings, make good money, find promoters that aren't going to fuck them over, that are actually going to pay them what they're promised and not, skip out on them or be like, oh, well, I know that you're supposed to get 1,000. That's what we agreed to. But the take, you can only get 500. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. For every 10.
For every Vince McMahon, there's a Frisco Fiasco.
Well, right. No, what I was going to say as far as the talent, for every 10 of these people that are going to release, you're going to have one that's going to hit that Julia Roberts pay dirt and fucking find their Richard Gere at the end of the movie.
Matt Cardona?
Dude, Matt Cardona should not be a goddamn thing, and he is, and I love it.
Yeah. Matt Cardona is the epitome of what you can do if you know your value, you know your worth, you grind, you hustle. Everybody assumed when Chelsea Green came back, he would be back too. TikTok, just a matter of time, get the couple back together.
Didn't need to.
He's still out there making his money, living his best life. Our good buddy, Gino Rivera.
Yes.
Follow him on social media. If you guys have not followed him at Gino Told You So on Twitter and Instagram, dude may not be able to demand that type of money, $1,000 per show.
Right.
But he is working every weekend, not just in his hometown, traveling across the country to different states, different shows. He is hustling and making that money. He's running a wrestling school. His students are constantly getting booked because he's instilling the values that he was taught via the Santino Brothers Wrestling Academy.
Yep.
It can be done.
His daughter's birthday is today, and he's showing that he can still put food on his daughter's plate by working that indie hustle. And see, now we've got one of these journalists arguing with the AEW talent about it's all room and innuendo, kids. All it is. All it is.
And that's why we weren't going to address it.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I know.
That's
I'm just
why.
saying, like, to the people in the chat room, that's why we're not announcing it until we get confirmation or a super chat. Because now there's debate over that name.
Exactly. And there shouldn't be debate. There's somebody's job.
Yeah.
There's somebody's livelihood. Either they are or they aren't. But you don't need to be speculating about somebody, especially somebody that's had this happen in the past.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel for Jesse Davin, tweeted, heading into Costco, fearing what releases will occur while I'm in here.
Because the signal on Costco is a bitch. So you never know what you're going to run when you get your sitting back. It's like, oh, no.
Yeah, right? It's like you wake up, you go to bed at night, all is calm. You wake up in the morning, you find out about the show in Australia, you find out about SmackDown. You go away for 45 minutes to take the kids to school, and the group chat is blowing up.
Seriously. Josh said it himself. He went back to bed after they announced the SmackDown thing and woke up and went, ruh-roh.
It was so bad that as soon as I parked, I am literally on the phone to Senor Meacham, like, so, are you seeing what's going on in the group chats?
Nope, I'm not.
I'm not in that group chat.
I'm not.
There's a shit ton of people being released. Let's set up a stream to go live at the top of the hour.
It's like,
fuck me.
I don't want to.
Like, literally, that's almost verbatim what our conversation was.
It's like, and again,
one more time, people in the comments that are posting that third-party journalists are saying that people are released. Number one, look at the ticker. We have names that are there. The name that you just posted is there under rumored because we have only heard that a third-party journalist is saying it. We have not gotten confirmation from WWE nor the talent. Everybody that's in the confirmed has come from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Mustafa Ali, Aaliyah, Emma, Riddick Moss, Top Dollar, Shelton Benjamin, Dolph Ziggler, Elias, all have either come from their own mouth or, in Ziggler's case, John Cena and Big E Langston. And I'm sorry, but I trust John Cena and Big E Langston more than I trust third-party journalists.
Yeah.
Again, and I'm not trying to sound like a dickhead here. I can grab my non-existent copy of the Holy Bible sitting right next to me, flip through it, and I will not find a book of Sapp, Alvarez, or Meltzer in there. Their words are not gospel. Unless we see it from a press release from WWE or we hear it from the talent's mouth, it is a rumor.
We need to find a way to get biblical font on a t-shirt with that shit.
Shit, the Book of Hobbs has more bearing than the Book of Sapp, Alvarez, or Meltzer. Because that is a physical book I can see, God damn it. And Hobbs is the one preaching out of the Book of Hobbs. So it is coming from his mouth.
Yeah. What he said.
Oh, my brother. Testify.
That's it. By the way, I can't get enough of rewatching the clip of them putting Dixie through a table. It just makes my day. During the Impact lead up, just beautiful thing. I know it's silly. I know it's petty. But I don't give a shit.
You know what else is a beautiful thing? Letting the pigeons loose, but that's another topic. But I digress.
Twice in a month. It's tremendous. Because she don't know she's in the NBA. Because she goes and sits down at the table. It's like, that's not the pigeons. That's a fucking powered suit. Damn it. Let them loose. But tonight. And we'll be covering it all. We don't want to cover up the pigeons being let loose, but we will cover the show.
Yes.
We're getting really naughty. That's okay. Yeah, 3-hour block again tonight. Plus more if they announce more releases. Jesus Christ. The plan is if those 5 p.m. Eastern cuts do come in, we will be going live shortly after.
Yes.
And that'll be the saddest pre-show ever. People got fired today. Time for Impact Wrestling 1000. Woo!
Granted, my payout has hit the bank, but what I'm going to do is once we get off the air is I'm going to call that person and be like, look, I know I said that if the money came, I would get the kids. The money did come. However, news is rapidly breaking and is supposed to begin breaking again at 2:00. So I may need to go live on the air. Can you just get them?
And honestly, if there's balking, remind her that I might not be here.
Yeah,
I may still have to go out to the courthouse.
To be fair, she has been a lot better when it's come to needing to do stuff like this than she ever was when we lived together in the old school casa.
Fair.
Because you got to figure those 4 months, whatever it was that I lived with her before moving into these walls.
Yes.
She had no problem for the most part with me going into the office and doing what I needed to do for the channel and my shows. So
there you go. And again, to address the chat without showcasing the chats themselves, the problem with that one book is it's about as realistic as the firsthand account of the Bible.
Yeah,
that was sacrilegious, and I don't give a shit. Were they there? I was there. Bruce Pritchard moment. There you go. Who's booking this shit? I wasn't there. We're just going to alienate everybody today.
We still got 18 viewers, so I think we're doing pretty good.
I think we're doing
when
okay.
we first made the announcement about Aaron going live, we dropped down to like 9.
Yeah.
For a little bit. We hit the single digits, but then we jumped right back up,
Well, hopefully,
you know what? And I wasn't trying to step on you. We both were just kind of talking at the same time. Why don't we take a quick little 40-second, 2-minute break? We'll run a couple trailers here to kind of hype the watch longs, including tonight's, to hype the Friends of the Multiverse of Media. And then we'll come back after those and we'll continue the discussion, see if any more names have broke, if any more names have been confirmed, or if we can just start to wind things down so you can get to your stories on time at 11:30.
Sure. Throw me under that bus and we'll go to commercial.
Love you. Mean it.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
There we go. We are back. You're muted.
Didn't know we were going to run the James thing. My volume was high.
I figured we didn't run it at the top of the show So since we took that quick little intermission, I figured it was a good time to sneak it in there, especially since we were doing news briefs and everything, kind of get that little bumper going. But yeah.
It's definitely good that you are having to redo the watch along trailer again after this morning.
Right.
Because
I had already made ones for yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So once tomorrow's Rampage Grand Slam is over, I'll make a new one because we'll have like a whole week to plug it going into No Mercy and Wrestle Dream. So yeah.
Well, I was saying that because the Wrestle Dream graphic, they actually used a proper logo instead of that freaking complete WrestleMania ripoff. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
But yes, again, we danced around it, if we're being honest. WWE is going to be bringing an actual, not exclusive to Australia or wherever premium live event to the land down under with Elimination Chamber going to Australia. I think that's cool. They're bringing the chamber down under. I think it's neat. So we'll
definitely
talk all about that shizzit tonight, my friends. So
that'll be, of course, on Talk Wrestling immediately following the Impact 1000 watch along, which will be just mere hours from now, going live 7:45 Eastern, 4:45 Pacific. Yes. Simple Man Noah Foster and the Mighty Datilla on commentary for that much as they were last week.
Yes.
Jeff should be in studio producing. Keyword should be.
Yeah.
I will be backup producer, backup commentator, backup on-air personality. I'm going to be Walter Cruz for that stream. Oh, Mr. Reliable. If you need me, just throw me in there. Give me the hot tag. But
he be the utility motherfucker in this bitch right here. He is our Dolph Ziggler, by God, just with almost as long as hair in the back. Anyway, he's working that. He is working that Heyman gimmick to a core now, slow but sure, man. He's working on it. He's getting there.
Here to show the world.
That's it. And we are showing off. We are showing off and not shitting the bed like Amber Heard.
I think in my closet I've still got the Stealing the Show and Your Girlfriend shirt.
That is one of the best shirts they ever did for him. Oh my God, it was so good. Oh Lordy.
But yeah, I mean,
anyway,
again, for those of you that are just tuning in, after almost 2 hours of being on the show and on the air, first of all, where the hell have you been?
Right? Seriously.
I mean, I say that in jest because a lot of people are at work or at school.
Yeah.
Simple Man Noah Foster wanted to be here, but he's got to get his hours in doing his job.
Absolutely.
But confirmed releases: Mustafa Ali, Aaliyah, Emma, Riddick Moss, Top Dollar, Shelton Benjamin, Elias, and Dolph Ziggler. Rick Boogs rumored, and we only have him under the rumored because we're going off of WWE press release and the superstar's own mouth. All the superstars that are listed in the confirmed releases, sans Dolph Ziggler, have been posted on their own social medias. Dolph's has been confirmed by both Big E Langston and John Cena, both of whom are a little bit more respected names in the business as opposed to third-party journalists. Until we get a confirmation from the superstar, until we get a confirmation from WWE, they are just rumors. Much as the rumor that come 2 Pacific, 5 Eastern, there is supposed to be more cuts coming from the NXT brand. We will see what happens as far as that goes. If the releases start to come, look for me at the very least to be live here at 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 Eastern. Maybe I'll wait about a half hour to an hour. So 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 Eastern. Try to give a little bit of time for the names to generate and be thrown out there so that I have more than 1 or 2 names when I come on the air. But yeah.
Sorry. Okay. It's big news. My dad, Dolph Ziggler, WTF?
Yeah. See, the fact that Jeff's father messaged him while he is working about a release just goes to show how big this news is. I mean, more often than not, you see the other journalists or even our own friend of the multiverse, Aaron Rift, going live with this type of news. But I hit Jeff up as soon as I saw these names. I told Jeff, I was like, dude, we got to get live. We got to start talking this stuff. He agreed. So here we are, almost 2 hours in. Aaron Rift will be live at the 12 o'clock Pacific hour, which is 3 o'clock Eastern, covering the news for NoDQ.com and all the updates that we haven't been able to give you. He should be able to give you.
Yes.
In the meantime, in between time, stick with our coverage. If you have somebody that you speculate is going to be released, if you have a point that you'd like to have addressed about one of the names that has been released, confirmed or rumored, if you have names from NXT that you want us to talk about the possibility of being released, super chat, simple as that. They will then be thrown up on the screen and we will address them.
There you go.
Again, thank you to Walter Cruz, Rage of Wrestling, who has commented and super chatted both of our channels throughout the stream.
He's good people.
Get a little bit of money and support into us.
Yes.
People, stop being super cheap. Super chat. If you're getting mad that we don't talk about what you want us to, dictate the conversation by donating.
Duh. It's so great. I find it funny, by God. Nothing on super chat, just the fact that he just didn't give a shit. And Walter Dolph's not going to. He's just gonna let everybody else talk about it. That's what Nick do.
Yeah, Nick do Nick things.
That's right. So
that's how much of a show off Dolph Ziggler is. He doesn't
right.
have to post about it. Everyone talks about it anyways.
That's right. That man can sell a lazy boy chair to a wow, I ruined the joke. I'm bad. I said now. Never mind. Forget it. Fucked up. I'm tired.
You fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up.
I did. It was a good one. It was a stolen one from Mick Foley, but I was going to go with it anyway, and I still botched it up. God damn it. Botch count 1 today. Noah, keep track.
Yeah, as opposed to botch count 132 from Stat Boy Sports Bar the other day.
Oh, God. That was a long Tuesday.
But we love you, Mikey.
We love Mike and Dory anyway, so it's okay. Thank you all for if you're in this for the whole 2 hours, God bless you.
Yeah, there's quite a few names that I keep seeing pop up, still commenting that even if they've disappeared, have been for the most part here with us for the entire time. So we greatly appreciate you guys' support.
Yes, and we will be talking more about this later today. The likelihood of us going live prior to Impact 1000, which again, the show for us will be starting at 5:30 Pacific because it's being covered by the Impact Insiders, Noah and Attila. So they'll be watching on that feed. Yes. So we will have our 45-minute, actual Impact pre-show because the pre-show, like Super Bowl, is going to be talking about the likely, if you believe the window, NXT cuts at 2 o'clock our time. So probably going to go live about 2:30 at that point if they do happen.
But between 2:30 and 3 is what I'm looking at. If I can get confirmation from the other party that they will still pick the kids up for me.
Yes.
Then 2:30, 3 o'clock. Otherwise, I will just hit the live button as soon as I get home.
Yeah, and if I'm here, I can do it. So it's not not a big One of us will be here in our respective office chairs between 2:30 and 3 p.m. Pacific, depending on where we are in the driving scheme of things. A lot of shit going on, and not just releases, which is
we've had 3 big news stories today.
Yes,
Elimination Chamber in Australia, SmackDown to the USA Network, and the releases.
Yes,
and again, the names that have been confirmed and the one rumored are scrolling across the bottom. I'm not going to run through them again. I just did. And then there's rumor that there's going to be NXT releases coming at 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 Eastern.
Yes.
So just definitely makes for a fun-filled open mic night this week when I thought we were going to get a week off of Major Talk. And fun-filled talk wrestling for you as well, since you may or may not be on open mic night.
Yeah, it's still very much up in the air whether I will
gonna
be
say.
part of Saturday's show. So we'll
'Cause
definitely
you
get
may
into
have
the
your own- You may have your own Saturday shenanigans in a world full of scum and villainy, and if you know, you know.
Well, I mean, yeah, I work, a couple blocks from the transport to Batu. So there you go. It's not too far a journey to get to the edge of the galaxy for me. So, but wherever you hear the news, wherever you see this gorgeous face with the ridiculous logo that was designed by Greg, so thank you again. We will be live today throughout the day, talking about these releases, talking about the news, all the news it's fit to report. And we'll be covering Impact Wrestling's second night of its 1,000 episode celebration. So all the things in wrestling, good, bad, indifferent, we'll be talking about it. It very much is an 80s sitcom around here. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the Championship World Wrestling Media.
Damn right.
That's it. That's what we do around here. We talk about it all. We definitely don't sugarcoat because we don't need diabetes in this group.
Diabetes.
No, don't need diabetes. And I don't have a big mustache to pull that shit off anyway. It just wouldn't be right.
Which is odd
If
because
you
we
know,
put plenty
you
of
know, and if you
Quaker
know-
oatmeal around this house. So,
And if you know how far we're doing in commercials, you are our people and we love you. If you don't, just YouTube that shit. It's out there somewhere. Just saying.
diabetes.
Just cut this shit. Cut this shit, Williams.
I still need that shirt. Cut the shit, Mansfield.
Yeah.
Still need that shirt.
Yeah, it's no longer Misha. It's just cut the shit, Mansfield now. He's totally usurped that for me, and I'm okay with it.
Cut the shit, Mansfield, and that's bullyism. Still need to be mass produced. Damn it.
Hey, at least I got her the one.
I know, but her dad needs one too.
Okay.
Just saying.
As soon as Slave Driver here stops running me ragged, we'll get on that shirt design shit.
Speaking of your slave driver there.
Uh-oh.
You might want to reach out to your niece because she's a little bit heartbroken that the Florida variation of a certain cave-dwelling animal show that I admire so much that I addicted her to is changing the name of her precious favorite bear to Romeo McGraw. She messaged me last night in tears that the Mouska Mafia is changing his name. So, once we get off the air here, once your stories is over, you might want to reach out and send a message to her via her IG and just let her know that you are sorry and you're going to take it up with Mr. Iger.
Yeah. We have a problem here. It's not Iger's fault, but I knew who to call.
Ghostbusters?
No. Josh, not Mansfield. Head of the parks. I was okay with you changing the music, Josh. I was okay with that. Character names are sacred.
I told her maybe it'll be a situation like with Shaker. Because if you read the liner notes on the original album that came out, his name is actually Terrence.
Right.
They just never address him as Terrence. They address him as Shaker.
That's fair.
So maybe it's a thing for print where his name will now be Romeo. And they will still address him through the show as Liver Lips McGraw.
That will be much discussed in due course. For now, as sad as the release news was, that's even sadder. So we're going to go ahead and...
Especially for a specific 14-year-old.
Especially for all of us that are so enthralled with that show and the fact that we have to go a few thousand miles to see it.
Yes.
And now they're changing shit on us.
But anyways, that's a whole other land. That is a land where it's supposedly a world of laughter and a world of tears. A world of hope and a world of fears. And
we do indeed share, you and I. Yes. So And we care deeply about it because it is a small world, after all. But I sure as hell would want to paint it.
So
too many puppets. It's scary. Anyway, master of puppets maybe, but still scary. We need to sign off. We need to go.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're not. Let me do another quick browse of the socials, see if anybody else is getting released.
That's fair. Once more with feeling, if you will. These goddamn add-ons on this website are killing me. I don't see anything new as of yet. Nope, looks like we are for the moment. It is at a pause.
Well, that is good news.
Yes, for now, exactly.
You know, as the old saying goes, no news is good news.
At least in these men and women's cases.
Yes, I am also refreshing WWE.com. I am not seeing anything over there either.
Yes.
Nothing on their X page.
Yes.
I just rechecked Boogs's X page. Still nothing from him.
Right.
At least not since September 16th, so 4 days ago.
Right.
I
think we are good in the ability to say TTFN. And if you know what that means, that one of us saying that out loud, you are definitely our freaking people. Because that's a throwback to a classic character.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything new.
Cool.
So that is a good thing. Once again, we here at the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media wish all the best to Mustafa Ali, Aaliyah, Tennille Dashwood, better known as Emma, Riddick Moss, Top Dollar, Shelton Benjamin, Elias, Dolph Ziggler, and if it is true that he has been in fact released, Rick Boogs. You know, I know WWE says it in their releases and it comes off as kind of snarky from them, but we truly do wish them the best in their future endeavors, wherever they end up, whether they become All Elite or Impact bound, or they mill around the indie circuit for a little bit, or they just decide to get out of the business.
Jeff Meacham,
Aaliyah and Emma are still very young. They could start families, decide to be moms instead.
Yeah, you know. Mm-hmm.
Dolph has his comedy career.
Yep.
Shelton, while still an athletic beast,
yes,
probably has had his best days behind him. So
coach,
I don't know where he would really fit in aside from being a producer or just that legendary coach type talent.
AEW looking for those.
I think probably the one with the most promise and upside is Mustafa Ali.
I would agree with that.
He's still young. He still has that untapped potential.
Yes.
And we'll just have to see what the future holds for all of these individuals.
And that's what we need to do is just wait and see.
But we both appreciate, and I know I'm doing most of the talking. This is a Jeff Meacham Network stream. Jeff is here. He's the host. He's the moderator. He's the man whose name is on the motherfucking tower. Not the marquee like normal, but his name is on the tower. And here I am doing all the talking. But that's only because I did truly spearhead this. It was my idea for us to go live. So I felt just made sense for me to kind of take the reins here and kind of.
I'm okay with it.
Considering everybody out.
Considering my voice, half it's still on the edge of the galaxy from yesterday, and I'll be back there tomorrow. It's good to preserve the voice, so it's okay.
Absolutely. So for the Meltzer of the Multiverse, Josh Mansfield, the Cleveland combatant, who was here earlier to help us discuss this. For No DQ's resident Big Baller G, who was here earlier to help us discuss this. Mr. Reliable Walter Cruz, who was here earlier to help us discuss all this.
And his super chats.
Yes, and thank you again, Walter, for your super chats. The only ones that came in today, at least for this stream, we appreciate you.
Yes.
For the man whose name is on the tower here today, I am the Renegade JJ Williams. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you tune in for Aaron Rift's coverage coming up at the top of the hour. And then again, if the rumor of these NXT cuts are true, look for us to go live between 2:30 and 3 Pacific. That would be 5:30 and 6 Eastern time to lead into our coverage of Impact 1000 tonight and discuss the NXT releases if they do in fact come. Of course, once again, following Impact 1000 will be tonight's Talk Wrestling with Jeff Meacham, where I'm sure he will once again discuss this, as well as discuss Elimination Chamber from Australia, as well as discuss the move of SmackDown to the USA Network, and whatever you guys may super chat him there about. But until then, we will see you guys later, and thank you all for tuning in for this special breaking news broadcast.
And may the force be with you.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.